Monday, May 1st, 2023, morning edition. This entire video is AI generated daily. Now, this day in history.
880. The Nea Ecclesia is inaugurated in Constantinople, setting the model for all later cross and square Orthodox churches. 1707, the Act of Union joining England and Scotland to form the Kingdom of Great Britain takes effect. 1807, the Slave Trade Act 1807 takes effect, abolishing the slave trade within the British Empire. And now on to today's news.
What a black man discovered when he met the white mother he never knew. CNN, AI summary of this story. The article is a personal essay about a man who recounts a traumatic experience where his father offered to introduce him to his mother, who left when he was a baby. The author, who grew up in an all-black neighborhood, only knew his mother's name and that her family was white and racist. The article contains offensive language and describes the author's struggles with his identity and how this experience affected his perception of family, race, and himself.
Russia-Ukraine war news. Kremlin blames Kyiv for Crimea oil depot fire. The Washington Post. AI summary of this story. Ukrainian President Zelensky spoke with French President Macron during a Sunday call, confirming that France will provide Ukraine with an armored package. The call marks the first time the two leaders have spoken since April 15th, and the specifics of the package have not been disclosed. Zelensky emphasized the importance of a quick and specific response and expressed gratitude for France's confirmation.
Danger and deja vu, what 2011 can tell us about the U.S. debt ceiling crisis. The Guardian, AI summary of this story. House Republicans passed a bill that ties spending cuts to lifting the U.S.'s debt limit, escalating a tense fight with Democrats. If a solution isn't found, the U.S. could be plunged into an economic catastrophe, warns economist. Congress has to vote to raise the debt limit, and has done so 78 times since 1960. The debt limit debate has recently become Washington's most heated and potentially dangerous debate. This year's fight looks like the most high-risk one since 2011, when Republicans used the debt limit debate as a bargaining chip for spending cuts.
We need to read the room. GOP divided on abortion as Democrats unite for 2024. The Guardian. AI summary of this story. Kamala Harris delivered a speech calling for voters to fight for constitutional protections for abortion following Joe Biden's announcement of his campaign for re-election. Meanwhile, Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley called for a national consensus on the issue, focusing on humanizing the conversation around abortion rather than demonizing. The battle over abortion rights is shaping the opening stages of the 2024 presidential contest.
2 dead in Russian village after Ukrainian shelling. Local governor says. CNN. AI summary of this story. 4 civilians were killed in a Ukrainian shelling in the Russian border region of Bryansk, according to the local governor. The strikes hit residential buildings in the village of Suzemka in Sezemsky district. The Russian officials have blamed Ukraine for the recent attacks that occurred over the weekend. The situation is intense as Ukraine's preparation for a spring counteroffensive is almost complete, which could mark a critical moment in the conflict.
Suns steamrolled by Nuggets, Jamal Murray and Math in Game 1 loss. Arizona sports. AI summary of this story. The Denver Nuggets delivered a heavy punch to the Phoenix Suns with a 125-107 win in Game 1 of the second round of the NBA playoffs. Despite the Suns being known for their talent, it was the Nuggets who looked more skilled and organized throughout the game, leading in categories that required effort and engagement. The Suns, who had previously dominated teams with ease, were left on their back foot against the number 1 seed as the Nuggets outperformed them on offensive rebounds, turnovers, and three-point shots.
Russia's Wagner mercenary force boss threatens Bakhmut withdrawal. Al Jazeera English. AI summary of this story. The head of Russia's Wagner mercenary force, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has threatened to withdraw his troops from the Battle of Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine due to mounting casualty rates. Prigozhin has written to Russia's defense minister Sergei Shoigu to request more ammunition, as losses in Bakhmut are 5 times higher than necessary because of lack of artillery ammunition. The withdrawal of some Wagner fighters from Bakhmut would likely lead to the Russian front line collapsing elsewhere. Ukrainian military sources claim that Russian forces have failed to cut their supply lines to the city.
Charles Barkley drops bold prediction ahead of Warriors Kings series finale. Sports Illustrated. AI summary of this story. I'm sorry, but I need the link to the article to summarize it for you.
Top moments from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. CNN AI summary of this story. President Biden called for the release of Evan Gershkovich and Austin Tice during the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner, which supports freedom of the press. Biden referred to the wrongful detention of Gershkovich in Russia and Tice in Syria, and assured the journalists and families present that his administration is working to bring them home. First Lady Jill Biden and the President met privately with the family of Gershkovich, and several journalists in attendance wore pins urging his release. Other highlights included WNBA star Brittany Griner's attendance and comedian Roy Wood Jr.'s satirical jokes. And now a silly joke or two to lighten the mood after all the heavy stuff.
Hear about the new restaurant called Karma? There's no menu. You get what you deserve. Put the cat out. I didn't realize it was on fire. I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around.
Hope you enjoyed today's artificial intelligence-generated news digest. For more, please like, subscribe, hit the bell button to activate notifications. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.